Got this firmware, and what I want to do is plug in an ESP32 and program it, plug in another one and program it, plug in another one and program it, plug in another one and program it, and then want to open MQTT Explorer and watch all 4 of my devices come online. But I can't because we have hard-coded the client ID into our firmware. That's why today for MQTT, we're going to auto-generate unique device IDs using Preferences.h. Today we have a very singular focus. We're just going to pull down some code that emulates an IoT device. The details don't matter. We're not doing MQTT today. We're just going to integrate some new code that generates a unique device ID. And when that's done, we'll wrap it up, which means put it in GitHub. So let's pull that code down now. Let's start with last week's repo. Like I said, the details don't matter. It's just the last place I left off. I'm going to clone this and open it up. I'll give you a tour just so you can see what's going on. We bring in credentials, Wi-Fi tools, and MQTT, and you can see that in setup, we establish those connections. And in the loop, we're saying so long as we've got a Wi-Fi connection, we're going to maintain MQTT. And if we don't, we want to reconnect Wi-Fi, and we want to tell MQTT that we have disconnected. But notice also there's this device.h. This is a device-specific library. In there, we have 2 functions that go to setup and loop. In setup, we're going to subscribe to a beacon topic and listen for messages. And in loop, we're going to publish temperature. If I SSH into this local Raspberry Pi, I have sitting here with a mosquito broker running. We can list the running Docker containers, and we see one of them's mosquito, and the other is some beacon app. And the beacon app is emitting a beacon and account. This for now is just kind of like a signal to devices to know that they're connected. If we go to MQTT Explorer and open it up, you can see this beacon count showing in real time. So back to the code. We're subscribing to the beacon. We're also going to publish a temperature. Let's see if this works. We got to change the credentials template to credentials.h so main can pick it up. And I will add in my credentials here. We've got to give it the SSID and password for the Wi-Fi, but also the IP address of the mosquito broker and the port that it's running on. We compile. You can see we subscribed to Beacon, but also we're sending temperature data. If we go back to MQTT Explorer, you can see the beacon count is still there, but now our temperature publications are showing up. So this works. That's not why we're here though. We're here because in the MQTT connection code, we have a hard-coded device ID and we need to change that. So let's do that now. Let's create a new module to auto-generate a unique device ID. So again, in the main module of MQTT, we've got this defined device ID. I'm going to take that out. And now we're going to need somewhere in the class to store the value we're about to generate. So I'm going to create a private character buffer to hold device ID. We're choosing length of 9 because it's going to be 8 characters and a null buffer at the end. In our setup, we're going to want some storage function that will get or set a device ID for us. We'll pass it a buffer and it'll write that value onto the buffer for us. Then down below, once we have device ID, we're going to use that to connect to MQTT. I'm going to call this module storage. We're bringing Preferences.h into it, which is a storage tool. And although we're just focused right now on getting or creating a device ID, in this library, that device ID is going to be stored on disk. Throughout the life cycle of this firmware, there will probably be other things that require storage, and those functions will also be here. So although a little confusing right now, I think the best name for this module is storage. So we'll create the header file and the source file. I'll follow the pattern I do every single time pretty much, which is we're going to create a class, include the semicolon always, then we'll prototype our constructor function, and in the source file, we will author the constructor function, which takes nothing and does nothing, but it will create an instance of storage for us, which we will then extern from our header file so that this one instance could be used throughout our code. We're going to need a function that gets or sets an ID for us, and it's going to take that character buffer from us. I'm also going to add a private create code function. This is a utility function that will just generate random codes that we can use as device IDs. I'll scaffold the functions first. I'll do the create code first. We can go faster. It's not much of a learning opportunity. It's just that I've already worked out the logic and I'm presenting it here. So we create a list of characters that will allow within our device ID, and then we loop over our buffer. Now the length has to be coordinated with the buffer you've provided, of course, and we select those characters randomly and write them onto the buffer. At the end, we put the null terminator to close off the C string. Now let's bring in Preferences.h. We have to create an instance and we have to open up some namespace. The name can be anything. I'll choose ID. Within that space, we're going to check to see if there's a key called device ID. If there is, we're going to grab the value associated with that key, convert it to a regular C string, and write it to our buffer. If there's not, we're going to create a new buffer, send that to create code, and take the given value and write it to our buffer. In this second case, we've created the ID, so we need to write it to disk, and we need to convert it to a constant character buffer before we do so. In all cases, we end with preferences.end. I just attempted to compile, but failed because I never included storage.h in the MQTT source file where it was being used. I'll come back and add some serial prints here, and we don't need to print the buffer twice. We could just print it at the bottom. So there you go. We've got this existing ID because I already ran it once without the serial print. Speaking of existing IDs, you'll want to be able to clear these IDs. Perhaps the device is going to a different role. This function is very simple. We just need to begin, clear, and end. All of these following preferences dot, of course. In MQTT, we can just call this function before we get our set, and this is going to wipe our ID. And sure enough, there you see no key existed. We created a new one. And I'm going to pull that function back out, and we're just going to use that ID from now on. We've been publishing the temperature, but we don't know which device is sending us that data. So we can now use this device ID, which is part of the MQTT class, and inject that value into our topics. Let's build up our topic with what we have. First, we'll write the device ID. Then we'll add a slash. Then we'll add the topic that was sent to this function. Then we can print and publish this enhanced topic. Shouldn't have put the spaces here. Okay, then we'll compile. And there you see, we're now sending the G7H/temperature value. And when we go to MQTT Explorer, our temperature data is now differentiated by device ID. Looking through things, I've got a couple things I want to fix here. First of all, we're importing our storage library into MQTT. I don't want MQTT depending on any other modules. I want it to be standalone. So we should really take the storage out and bring it to main. We can create our device ID here and inject it into the MQTT library. So I'm going to create a new character buffer in setup. And I will send that to the get or set ID function. And then I'll inject that value into the MQTT setup. So we have to re-prototype our setup function. We'll coerce it to a constant character buffer. And then the device ID here stays because we're going to want to store that. We'll name it device ID, and then we simply set our private device ID to equal that device ID. But I'm actually wrong here. I didn't catch something. This would work if we were doing it in the constructor function, but not when we're doing it in setup. I missed that for now, but it's going to throw an error at me in a few seconds. Over here, do you remember when we created code holder, sent it to create code, and then copied the return value to buffer? We don't need to do that. If we're fine overwriting the buffer in the first part of this function, why wouldn't we do it in the second? We'll just send buffer to create code. So now I compile and quickly get that error I mentioned. If we're here in this function, we should instead be using string copy. Now we compile and it works. And we have successfully extracted our storage module out of the MQTT module. And in MQTT Explorer, it's still working. Now I can restart and plug in all my devices, and you see them start to come in. And eventually we get our guy right here. 4 devices all running the same firmware, and this works because they have all saved their own unique device IDs. Let us wrap it up. This is in GitHub. You can go ahead and pull it down, but I think really all you want out of this is just the storage library. Grab those files, integrate it in your code, and have fun printing off thousands of devices using the same firmware. I'll see you at the next one.